So we are here with Dr. Matt Croasmun, and tell us, there's a question here that causes one to think, especially as leaders, and not just as we were sharing youth leaders, but leaders in general, people, part of our human condition, right? And the question is, what if what we want most isn't actually worth wanting? You know, and how does that relate, especially for those of us who have been so in tune with this world that we live in, that we need to achieve, or give, and then in the process, some of us, and I could say for me, I felt that I have lost myself in that process because is it even worth it?
Yeah, I think that we often as leaders, we can feel like what we need are better tips and tricks and techniques for our leadership, for our ministries, for whatever we're doing. And I think that's a bit of a sort of feature of our culture, which it's one of the things we talked about in the talk, that our culture at large is sort of convinced that the biggest problems that we face are sort of technocratic. They're questions of technique. They're questions of strategy. And so it can get us in this sort of loop where as leaders, what we're trying to chase down are the next good tips, tweaks, just different ways to sort of just a little sort of like leadership hacks, right? But whereas what we really need is to have this sort of like life within us. I mean, Jesus says that that sort of the life that we should lead is not in ourselves. It's actually a matter of being plugged into His life, right? So that if we abide in the vine and we're plugged into Jesus's life, then we'll naturally bear fruit. And I think often in our lives, what we find is we're working really, really, really hard, and it is exhausting to try to produce by effort what we ought to be naturally producing as fruit of our lives, sort of abiding in the vine and in relationship with God. And so I think what I'm trying to do with these questions is sort of point to those questions that are going to lead us back to Jesus, lead us back to life with God, such that we get plugged into that divine life, and all the good things that we want to see in our lives and in the lives of the young people and others around us whom we love so very much, those things are going to start being produced as fruit of a life that's actually taken root within us, rather than as a result of our best efforts or even our best tips and tricks and new techniques.
Yeah. Thank you.